Hello Year 10, this video is on adding and subtracting algebraic fractions. So just like normal fractions, to add and subtract, we must obtain the lowest common denominator and then we can add and subtract the numerator. So we're always looking for a common denominator. It doesn't have to be the lowest common. If it's not the lowest common denominator, then you will have to simplify the values in the fraction. So for part A here, we've got x over 2 plus 3x over 4. So our lowest common denominator will be 4. And to do that, we just have to multiply the first fraction by 2. And when we do that, we remember we have to multiply the numerator and the denominator. So we'll get 2x over 4 plus 3x over 4. Now we have the same denominator, we just add our numerator. So we'll have 2x plus 3x, and then we have all that over 4. And then 2x plus 3x is 5x. And our final answer will be 5x over 4. So remember, when we add in fractions, you don't add the denominators. We make the common denominator and that stays the same. Okay, for B, we have a over 3 minus 2a over 5. So our common denominator here will be 15. If you can't see the lowest common denominator, just multiply the two denominators that are there. So for this one, it'll be 15. So we need to times the first fraction by 5 and the second fraction by 3. So we'll end up with 5a over 15 minus 6a over 15. Which means we'll have 5a minus 6a all over 15. And then 5a minus 6a is minus a over 15. Now we can sometimes have variables on the denominator. So here in part C, we've got 4 over a plus 3 over b. Same idea. When we have a variable, you just multiply each fraction by the other variable. So we're going to multiply the first fraction by b and the second fraction by a. So we'll get 4b over ab plus 3a also over ab. And then from there, add our numerators, so we'll get 4b plus 3a all over ab. And we can't do anything else with that because there's no then common values or variables between all of the terms. Now D, we have 5 over x minus 4 over 3x. So to get the common denominator here, we've got an x on one and a 3x on the other, so we just need to times the first fraction by 3. And we'll get 15 over 3x then, minus 4 over 3x. We can make our one fraction, so it'll be 15 minus 4 over 3x, and then 15 minus 4 is just 11. So our final answer will be 11 over 3x. And this is the same idea now from then on. So now with E, you'll see we've got b over 3 plus 1. So remember 1 is the same as 1 over 1. So our common denominator is going to have to be 3. And we need to then times the second fraction by 3. So we'll have b over 3, that stays the same. But now we're going to have 3 over 3. So remember, you've got to multiply the numerator and the denominator. Then we can create our single fraction. So b plus 3 all over 3. Now we can't simplify anything there because remember the 3 isn't common in all parts because we have that plus separating. So there's 3 terms, and to simplify, the value or the variable has to be a part of every term. All right, F, same idea with F. A, on its own here, we've got a over 4 minus a. The a would be a over 1. And our common denominator will be 4, so we need to times the second fraction by 4. So we'll end up with a over 4 minus 4a over 4. And then we can, once again, create our single fraction. So we'll have a minus 4a all over 4. And then a minus 4a, we can do something with that. We'll get minus 3a over 4. G, we have x over 6 plus x minus 2 over 3. So our lowest common denominator there will be 6, and we just have to multiply the second fraction by 2. So what we'll get is we'll have x over 6 plus 2, and then in brackets x minus 2. So you've got to be careful here. Make sure you don't just times the x by the 2. Everything has to be multiplied by 2. So we'll have x plus 2x minus 4 all over 6. X plus 2x is 3x minus 4 divided by 6, and then we can't simplify it any further. Now we have to be really careful with h because we have a minus in the middle of it. And you have to be really, really careful here. This is a common error that gets made. Now we've got x plus 1 over 2 minus x minus 2 over 3. So our lowest common denominator will be 6, which means I need to multiply the first fraction by 3 and the second fraction by 2. So we'll have 3x plus 1 all over 6 minus 2x minus 2 all over 6. Then from here we'll create one fraction. So we'll have 3x plus 1 minus 2x minus 2 all over 6, and then we'll expand and simplify. So we'll have 3x plus 3 minus 2x. Now we've got minus 2 times minus 2, so that would be plus 4. And that is where the error will get made if you make one. And then we've got 3x plus 3 minus 2x plus 4. So we'll have 3x minus 2x, which will just give us x. 3 plus 4 is 7, and then all that over 6. Okay, we have 1 over x plus 2 over x minus 1. Common denominator here, variables and things on the bottom, pluses and minuses. So we actually need to times the first fraction by x minus 1, and we're going to times the second fraction by x, and that will give us a common denominator. So we'll have 1 times x minus 1 all over x times x minus 1. Remember, times the numerator and the denominator. Then the second fraction, we multiply by x, so we'll get 2x over x times x minus 1. See, now our denominators are the same, which means we can add our numerators. So we're going to have x minus 1 plus 2x all over x plus 1. And then simplify. So x plus 2x will be 3x minus 1 all over x and x plus 1. And that's our final answer. We don't need to do any more expansions or anything like that. And then the last one, j, we've got 2 over x minus 1 minus 3 over x plus 1. So same idea, make a common denominator. But it means we're going to have to multiply the first fraction by x plus 1 and multiply the second one by x minus 1. Because that will give us, once again, the common denominator, which will be x minus 1 times by x plus 1. And the second fraction will end up being 3 times x minus 1, and we'll have all over x minus 1, x plus 1. Now we have the same denominator, we can create one fraction, so we'll have 2x plus 1 minus 3x minus 1 all over x minus 1, x plus 1. And then from there we can expand and simplify. So we'll have 2x plus 2 minus 3x. And we'll have plus 3 because it's minus 3 times minus 1. All over x minus 1, x plus 1. And then just simplify. So we've got 2x minus 3x, which will give us minus x. And we have 2 plus 3, which is 5. So I'm going to write it this way because it just looks nicer. So 5 minus x all over x minus 1, x plus 1. And that is adding and subtracting fractions.